So today we're going to talk about an arithmetic sequence. An arithmetic sequence is a sequence that has a constant addition or subtraction pattern. So if you look at this table and we look at the y values on our table, we want to look for a pattern as how those y values are changing. So my first term is 2, my second term is 5. I can see that those terms are increasing by adding 3. And if I look at the next two terms from 5 to 8, I can still see that they're also adding 3. And that pattern of adding 3 continues throughout this whole table. So it's a constant pattern of adding 3 throughout the table, so this is an arithmetic sequence. Now when we put an arithmetic sequence on our graph, what you'll notice is that the dots will make a straight line. Okay, and so another name for an arithmetic sequence is that it's linear. And what that means is it makes a straight line. So the last thing we need to kind of cover is how do you write an explicit rule when you have an arithmetic sequence? Well, these arithmetic sequences, the explicit rule has 3 parts to it. It has a start value, it has a change value, and then also we're going to have a variable. Now it's really important for you to know the start value is your y-intercept, okay? If you look at your graph, your start value is right here at your y-intercept. It's the place where x equals 0 in your table. Okay, so in this case, our start value is going to be 2. Our change factor refers to how this pattern is changing. Okay, that's this right here. That's our change factor. So in this case, our change factor is plus 3. Now, in an arithmetic sequence, it can be addition or subtraction. So it might say 2 plus 3, or you might have a sequence that's a subtraction sequence where it would be 2 minus whatever the change pattern was. And then finally, last but not least, the last thing we need to have is our variable. And that variable represents the term that we have. So if I wanted to use this explicit rule to find a term, all I would do is I would take my rule and I would say, what term do I want to find? And I'm going to use one that's in our table to help us. If I want to find my 4th term, all I would do is take that 4 and plug it in as my x value. So I'd have 3 times 4. And 3 times 4 is 12, and 2 plus 12 gives me 14. So that's how I can use this rule to help me figure out any missing value that could come from my table. And that's what you need to know about arithmetic sequences.